All right, all right, all right. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. I know I'm 2 minutes late. Give me some grace. I was on another call. But, anyways, so thank you guys so much for joining me back on these Thursday night lives. By the way, if you guys haven't come up with a catchy name for these yet, I'm waiting. So, let's go. But, anyways, this event was created mainly because from speaking to so many individuals every single week, one thing is very much apparent, and that is parents are extremely busy. Parents do not have the time to exercise, meal prep, and even to a lot of extent, parents don't have the time for taking care of their own self care and diving into their own personal hobbies and just fun activities to help recharge their batteries, which is a shame because we as parents need to take time for ourselves to recharge, because when we do take time to recharge, guess what? We show up better for our loved ones and those around us. Make sense? Say yes in the comments. So, anyways, this is all around debunking a very popular fitness myth that we see in the industry that is highly marketed and makes tons of money by scamming individuals into thinking certain exercises really lead to the best results. We see it. We see. I have no shame. I'm going to drop some names because I just don't care. We see the Beachbody workouts. We see the Insanity workouts. We see the popular P90X workouts. We see the PYO, whatever the hell it's called. We see all these popular things, boot camps, fit camps, taekwondo boot camps at Crunch Fitness. Like, we see all these things that people are putting their time into. And here's the thing, parents, if you know you're already working with limited time, why are you playing around with exercise modalities that just do not lead to maximal results? That's a genuine question that I have for you. And this is not me picking on you because we don't know what we don't know. So this is here strictly for educational purposes, so you stop wasting your time when you do have the time to go to the gym, go to the boot camps, do the workouts, whether it's at home, in the gym, in a park, wherever. I want to make sure that when you have the time, that 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes a day to exercise for your own self-care and to help you lose weight, gain energy, tone up, and feel overall better and more confident with your own body, I want to make sure that exercises and the workout modalities that you choose are going to lead to maximum results. Because the current world thinks that HIIT training leads to the greatest results. We see it. People always talking about Tabata training, HIIT training, high interval training modalities that spikes the heart rate really quickly, and then you do a period of rest, and then somehow doing HIIT training or Tabata training is going to lead to magnificent results. And even though I could get really controversial with a lot of fitness gurus in the space, because there was just some science peer-reviewed studies that literally came out on PubMed that showed slow cardio versus fast cardio, or HIIT training versus just traditional training and strength training, doesn't really lead to any difference within fat loss or fat tissue elimination. So that was a brand new study that I have to go back into and dive into it. So that's a conversation for another day. But you came here to debunk the myths and to figure out how you can tone up very quickly. Well, I'm going to take it one step further. For those individuals that are so super busy, I tell everybody, I preach about this. If you have 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, you can still get in an amazing workout and still tone up, still gain strength, still lose body fat. You can still do amazing things with your body. You don't have to go to the gym for 60, 90, 120 minutes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. I literally just had a conversation with a young lady, God bless her, but she is struggling to lose. She wants to lose 70 pounds. She's already lost 30 just by crazy fad dieting, which I don't condone, but hey, at least she's losing the weight. But she still has roughly 40 more to go. And I asked her, I was like, what's your plan? And she was like, I'm just going to start working out twice a day because now I've plateaued. Well, what are you going to do when you work out twice a day and you plateau? You going to go work out 3 times a day? Do you really have time for that? I don't think so, dude. Like, we have to take a step back and really approach this with some common sense. So before I dive into the nitty-gritty of why you came here to learn the exercises to maximize results, I simply want to share this little golden nugget with you. And you might have heard me talk about this before because I sound like a broken record, but the facts are the facts. The body is incredibly intelligent. When it's presented with a stimulus, when it's presented with a change, when a stressor is brought about the human body is incredibly intelligent enough to adapt to that stressor. So any workout protocol that you do, this is where the term, where you might have heard it on Instagram or from your favorite fitness guru, they talk about fitness periodization. And all that is, that's a flashy buzzword that says start slow and build up over time, because when your body's introduced to a stressor, a particular weight, a training modality, limited rest, whatever, when your body's introduced to that stressor, to that stimulus, it will adapt. Once that adaptation occurs, you have to bring about another more impactful stimulus, something to change things up or trick the muscles or trick the body into changing. You're not tricking shit, Barbara. Like, we need to stop with these stupid buzzwords. You sound ridiculous when you say them. So, here's the thing. I want you guys to remember this, and for my note takers, write this down. When the body's presented a stressor or a stimulus, it will adapt eventually. Whether it's a day, a week, a month, a year, eventually the body's going to become smarter and more resilient to that stressor. So then you have to introduce something else. If you start out your fitness journey doing HIIT training or doing a Sandy workout or doing a P90X workout or doing some intense boot camp routine, how are you going to periodize that? When you've already started at level 10 with the most CrossFit, boot camps, Taekwondo fitness classes at Crunch, P90X and Sandy, if you've already started at level 10 with all these intense workout modalities, when your body adapts to that, what in the blue hell are you going to do? What new stimulus are you going to bring to it? Another workout? Do you have the time for that? Can your body handle that? Like, come on. Now, I know I come off as aggressive during these things because you guys know me by now. I'm very blunt. I keep it 100. I've been in this game too freaking long to play softy, loosey-goosey with any of y'all. I'm going to provide you the facts. I'm going to tell you to straighten up and get to fucking work. And I'm going to debunk a lot of shit in the process. And we all are coming into this group. We're all coming into these live trainings with a certain set of core beliefs that we've been influenced by, whether it's social media, the news, our favorite Dr. Oz segment, our favorite TV celebrity doctor saying this diet works, that fitness thing works. So we think these things work because we trust these things, these people that we trust, and ultimately they only lead us astray. So let's break this thing down, shall we? I'm going to take things to the next level. Not only am I going to show you exercises that you need to do to tone up and maximize your results, even if you only have 15 or 20 minutes a day, but I'm going to give you the big 3. And some of you guys might have heard this before. Do not spoil it in the comments because I will hurt you. But here's the thing. HIIT training, nah. Being on the treadmill and elliptical, nah. Your body is going to, once again, adapt to that stimulus very quickly. If all you do is sit on a treadmill, a stair climber, a bike, elliptical, a rower, you are wasting your time. I'm going to say that again, and I'm going to say it closer to the microphone. For all of you people in here, if your method to lose weight, and when you have time to work out, and you spend that precious minutes that you have on a treadmill, on an elliptical, on a bicycle, stop. You are wasting your time. Cardiovascular exercises are not how you maximize your results. It might be where you're most comfortable, but it's not going to maximize results. Do you want comfort or do you want results? Somebody write that down because that was good. Do you want comfort or do you want results? Choice is up to you. Okay, so big three exercise. Here we go. I told you I was going to get faster with these things. We're only 10 minutes in. I'm not going 30 today. Here we go. Exercise number 1. I'm going to give you a spoiler. All 3 are exercises that involve resistance training. So if you're not comfortable in the gym, if you're not comfortable lifting weights, get with a personal trainer, get with a coach, watch demonstration videos, get with an expert, a certified expert, not your favorite YouTuber. Get with a certified expert that can walk you through these exercises. That's my disclaimer for this video before trying to do it yourself. Exercise number 1. You guys probably know where I'm going with this. Let me see in the comments. Do you guys know where I'm going with this? Nope, nobody spoiled it yet? Okay, cool. Exercise number 1. Squats. Yep, the king daddy. There is no way you're going to get out of having squats in your training protocol. I don't care if your knee hurts. I don't care if your hips or your ankles hurt. I just did a poll on here the other day. Where do you see most of your injuries from? Or where do you get the most body aches and pains? Now, if you have a legitimate injury, I'm not picking on you. But a lot of the times when I have conversations with adults, I hear the very common complaint that they suffer the most body aches and pains within their knees, ankles, or hips. The vast majority of that is because you do not squat. And there has been a long time myth in the industry within the medical profession where licensed doctors who don't know shit about physical exercise because they never went to school for it. Medical industry, medical schooling is different than physical training, sports and conditioning schooling. 2 different degrees, 2 different industries. You do not go to your doctor for fitness advice. I have to calm myself down on that one. You do not go to your doctor for fitness advice. And when your doctor says you shouldn't be squatting, you need to tell him he's fired or she's fired and to go F themselves. Squats have healed more people than it's injured. Squats are a fundamental movement pattern. We squat when we sit on the toilet. We squat when we sit in a chair. Technically, I'm squatting right now. And we have to have the power and the muscle to get up from that chair, to get up from that toilet, to bend over and pick something up off the ground, to pick our kids up. All that involves the squat movement pattern. You have to get comfortable with squatting. And even if you just start with your own body weight, if you experience trouble within your ankles, knees, hips, a lot of that has to do with mobility issues. It has nothing to do with serious medical conditions. You'd be amazed after 14 years of training people. I've literally trained dozens of people that have come to me with knee, ankle, and hip pain, and they tell me, I'm the expert. I'm the one with multiple certification. They tell me I can't squat. My doctor doesn't allow me to squat. And I look them blue in the face and I say, well, you're squatting today, and I'm going to show you how. We might start very small. We might have to modify a few things. But sweetheart Barbara, you're squatting. And you'd be amazed within just a couple of weeks, dozens of clients have come to me, guys. I have dozens of testimonials of people saying, I'm not in any pain anymore. Yes, because you're moving the human body how it's meant to be moved in a functional movement pattern. You have to start squatting. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, you probably know where I'm going with this because I just said the squat. What's the second biggest exercise there is that we see all over Instagram? This one might be a tricky one. But technically, the movement pattern it's movement number 2 is a hip hinge. And more specifically, It's the deadlift exercise. You guys have to be deadlifting. Once again, same thing. Same common myth as the squat. People get lower. The number one complaint within the medical industry, and I've looked this up, and I've even ran multiple polls, our group included, what is the number one pain that you deal with? And I've even looked in the medical practice, what is the most common body ache and pain that doctors are shown? And it's lower back pain. A lot of that has to do with the lower back muscles have not been properly strengthened. How you strengthen them is through hip hinge movements, and more specifically, a deadlift. Deadlift is a fundamental movement pattern. What do we do when we bend over and pick the pencil up off the floor? What do we do when we bend over to tie our shoes? All of those motions, anything that causes the hip to go forward, backward, is a hip hinge. You guys have to get comfortable with doing deadlifts. Now, deadlifts is, I will say this, it is a more risky exercise. But under the right supervision, you can learn how to properly do it. And a lot of that has to do with mobility restrictions, just like the squat. But you guys have to get proper supervision and learn how to properly deadlift. Now, individuals that are really suffering from a lot of lower back pain, typically they'll start out with like a glute bridge or a hip thrust, because those will directly help you strengthen the glute muscles, which are one of the bigger muscle groups in the human body. And the glutes are in fact tied together with your core. So when I say we have to strengthen our core to prevent lower back pain, that's your obliques, your upper and lower abdominals, your adductors, it's your glutes, it's your lower back. All of those are your core muscles, and we have to make sure that those remain strong and tight, especially as we age, to prevent any frequent injuries from occurring. The most frequent of those injuries, like I just said, was lower back pain. Get used to deadlifting. Cool? Cool. The big third exercise. Now, this is a controversial one. I'll be up front. Depending on the trainer or the fitness influencer that you talk to, this third one is very interchangeable. And a lot of personal trainers and a lot of fitness experts will say it's the bench press, because a lot of individuals are very weak with their pressing motion. This is, and depending on the day of the week, I flip-flop on this. But if I only had 3 exercises to choose from, depending on what your goals are, obviously, and where your weaknesses are, I might, in fact, tell you to do the bench press, because we all need to get stronger with our outward pressing motions to strengthen our chest, our tricep, our shoulders, our lats, and it's just an all-around great upper body exercise if you can only do one. Once again, it's a functional movement pattern. What happens if there's an injury, God forbid there's a fire in your house, you're in your bed and you have to press yourself up off the bed, or you fall, you trip, you fall on the floor. You have to press yourself up off the floor. You have to get used to pressing your body weight up. You'd be amazed by how many clients I work with on a monthly basis where I tell them, face down on the floor, now get up. And they literally can't pick themselves up, so I have to pick them up for them. Do you really want to be at that point in your life? You can start small. Do some push-ups on your knees. Graduate to push-ups, or go to push-ups on a bench or on the wall. I've started some clients with just standing their feet a couple away from the floor and pressing backward and forward on the wall. Now, the bench press is very vital. It utilizes, what, like I just said, chest, triceps, shoulders, core, back. But we have to remember who our target audience is here. And we are talking with parents. Parents specifically that need to stay strong, fit, and healthy for their kids, for their wives, husbands, things like that. And they just want to overall feel better and stronger. This is where it's going to get controversial. Because if we're strictly talking with parents, and if you only have 30 minutes a day to devote to the gym or a couple of times a week to devote to the gym, let's say you do one exercise every 10 minutes to fit all those sets and reps in, the third one has to be crucial. And I flip flop between a standing shoulder press and a bent over barbell row. And the reason I flip flop between those and not necessarily the bench press, like I said, this is controversial. This is just my opinion. This is not to go to the grave on. This one's a little bit flip floppy, but I've really have gotten very. I've become a huge fan of the standing barbell shoulder press as opposed to the bench press because throughout life, what are we doing as parents? Remember, we have to remember who we're talking to. What are we doing with our kids? We're throwing them up. My daughter loves to be tossed up in the air. That's a shoulder press. When I have to go hang a television for my wife and I have to go put it on the stand on the wall, what am I doing? I'm doing a shoulder press. Whenever I have to put a box on the top shelf or reach for an item on the top shelf, that's a shoulder press. I am more likely to do, in a given day, I am more likely to do a shoulder press movement than a horizontal pressing motion. Because chances are, yes, it's important that I have the strength to get up off the floor, but what's the chances of me being on the floor versus being in a vertical position and I just need to go grab something off the top shelf or go put a box up in the attic for my wife? The chances are more likely I'll be doing that motion as opposed to that motion. Make sense? Say yes in the comments. Now, I did say I flip-flop between two other exercises, not counting the bench press. The other one that if I really had to nitpick, if I could only have 3 exercises that really maximizes results, and remember, before, because I haven't said this blatantly outright yet, all 3, 4, 5 of these exercises, the reason why they maximize results, specifically with toning, strength training, fat burning, is they maximize lean muscle tissue gain and their compound lifts, meaning they work multiple muscle groups at one time. Where, let's just say you go into the gym and you're just walking on the treadmill, what are you doing? You're working your cardiovascular system, but you're not really engaging the muscles all that much. The muscles that you are engaging is mainly your calves, a little bit of your thighs, your hips, your core a little bit, but it's not to the extent that weight training does. I guarantee you, if you put me on a squat rack and I'm sitting there and you and I have only 10 minutes in the gym and I do 10 minutes worth of squats versus you 10 minutes on the elliptical, boo-boo, not only will I burn more calories, but I'm going to shred more body fat than you, I'm going to gain more muscle than you because I'm stimulating my metabolism, and I'm going to look a hell of a lot better in a bathing suit than you are. And that's not me being a jerk. That's just me stating facts. We have the science to back it up. We have the studies. Strength training always trumps cardio. And when you are tight on time, you gotta maximize. You have to be smart on what movements you're doing. If you're just dropping to the floor and you're doing crunches, sit-ups, planks, yes, something is better than nothing, but boo-boo. Like, trade out the planks for some squats. Trade out the crunches for some shoulder presses. Get some light dumbbells from Walmart or Amazon. They're not that expensive. And just do them throughout the day. Now, I just want to say that. That's why they're so much more superior than these random boot camp classes, these random treadmill elliptical workouts that we do. The Peloton. Listen, I know Peloton's a big hot thing right now. It's dumb as dog shit. And it's going to lead to more plateaus than anything else. Just mark my words. Come talk to me 2-3 years from now. But the big other exercise that I would probably swap out for the bench press is actually either a pull-up. You could do a pull-up / chin-up, or maybe even a barbell bent over row. And if you guys haven't seen that, that's where you have the barbell, you're bent over, and you're pulling it into your midline. And what that does is, because you're in that bent over position, you're engaging your core and your lower back muscles a hell of a lot more than as opposed to the bench press. So you're igniting those muscle groups, but also that you're working the whole lower, mid, upper back, and traps, the whole back. The back is, if you comprise all the muscle groups, that's the largest muscle group there is. From the back, the base of my skull, the traps, all the way down to my lower back, touching my glutes. That engages, the barbell bent over row engages all of those, including your biceps, and even to some extent your glutes and your hamstrings, because you're in that bent over position and you're pulling and you have that stretch within the back of your legs. So, and I did say before, if you don't have access to weights, I am a huge fan. Get used to doing pull-ups. If you can't do a pull-up, go to Amazon, buy some cheap bands that you can stand on, and it'll help with the resistance, pulling you up and down. If you can't do a pull-up when you don't have bands, do an inverted row. An inverted row is basically, imagine your coffee table, you're underneath your coffee table, you grab the ends of it, and you pull your chest up to the bottom of that corner of the table. That's an inverted row. And all these things, you guys can feel free to go into YouTube and look them up. Like, I'm not saying anything earth-shattering here, but these are, if you could only have enough time to do this core unit of exercises, it has to be squats, it has to be deadlifts, it has to be either, and this is interchangeable, bench press, shoulder press, or a pull-up, or a bent over row. You guys are going to see so much better results than just aimlessly going to Crunch, joining one of their boot camps, doing a treadmill workout, doing P90X, doing an endless stream of sit-ups and crunches. So, I hope this was beneficial to you guys. Remember, if you guys have topics that you want for me to discuss, drop them in the group. This group is for you to engage with others with, to let us know what you want. I literally just sent out an email this morning to our subscribers in our newsletter saying, hey, what type of content do you want to enjoy? I knew that this would be a popular one just because everybody's so short on time and everybody goes and gets on a treadmill. So this, I know, is going to be a hot topic and a hot piece of value for all you guys to utilize to maximize your results in 2022. So let me know your feedback. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. I'll be scrolling throughout the comments for the next 30 minutes or so. But remember to share this video and just get it out there. Only you, by sharing useful content like this, can put an end to a lot of those nutrition training myths and BS things that are out there in the world nowadays. So love you guys. Have a phenomenal week. Until next week, peace out.